Well, President Obama today urged Trump to stop whining about possible voter fraud and get to work on winning votes.
Trump is repeatedly warning supporters this week that the election may be stolen from him. And one of his fraud examples that his supporters are using, Minnesota. Pat Kessler joins us now with a reality check. So what is this about?
Yeah, I know. Everybody's wondering exactly about that. Imagine our surprise to see the Trump campaign using Minnesota as ground zero for election fraud back in 2008. It's not true, but one surrogate says that's how Senator Al Franken won.
Trump says the election is rigged against him, and Trump surrogates back him up with this startling claim of proof. Minnesota Democratic Senator Al Franken, elected by convicted felons.
And come to find out, 1,099 felons voted in that election. And since that time, 177 people have been convicted.
There's no evidence to support what Amy Kremer of Women Vote Trump claims, and still false when she repeats it a second time.
Al Franken, in Minnesota, 177 people have been convicted of voter fraud.
To quote Donald Trump,
absolutely wrong. Proved.
The number is from a pair of studies by the conservative group Minnesota Majority, which reported 451 convicted felons voted in the Franken election. But it used names of voters with no proof of convictions, felons who registered but did not vote, and some who had their voting rights restored. An investigation by the County Attorneys Association found no evidence of widespread voter fraud in the Franken race. It reported 2.9 million Minnesota voters in 2008. 26 were felons convicted of voting illegally. 9/10,000ths of 1%. 0.0089% of voters.
So that's virtually no evidence, and it's worth remembering Al Franken won the Minnesota Senate race by 312 votes after a 6-month recount and a court battle that went all the way up to the Supreme Court. At no point was there a finding of election fraud, as the Trump campaign says.
Yeah, but Pat, in general, Trump is saying that there could be voter fraud at local polling places. I mean, what are the possibilities of that happening?
You know, people talk about that all the time. They worry about it, but it's virtually non-existent. What we're talking about is voter impersonations, double voting, non-citizen voting. A Loyola Law School study found only 31 incidents out of 1 billion votes cast. And bringing it back to Minnesota, they talk about Franken. If convicted criminals could vote, is what they're saying, they would have voted for Franken. None of that is true. There's just not any evidence of it.
All right. Thank you, Pat.
You bet.